And we're live. Hey, Internet friends, this is Magic Brad's Synergy Cafe, and I've got an interview with another person that lives in my original hometown. He's from Minneapolis, or he's in Minneapolis. His name is Steve Beske. Steve, are you there?
I am, and it's actually above zero here, so that's cool.
I know. I joke a lot about that we moved down here and we sucked all the cold air from Canada through the Midwest, and you guys had a pretty tough winter, I understand.
Oh,
So I'm
absolutely.
glad I'm down here where it's nice and warm. Actually, we had a cold winter down here too. But so Steve, I'm just going to ask you a few basic questions, get to know you and what you do and all that, and I go through like who, what, where, when, how, and why. So the first question is like, who are you? Do you have a family and you live in Minnesota? Who's Steve Beske?
Well, Steve Beseke is. My wife and I just celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary on Monday. We have a 19-year-old, very cool daughter. She's a bit of a drama queen, but still a very cool daughter who is studying to be a nurse anesthetist at a college here in Minnesota, and we're itching to in a few years to get out of Minnesota and actually enjoy the weather 365 days of the year instead of probably 100 days of the year. So, and I've worked in government, and I've worked a variety of other places, including healthcare, and I worked for a company called Medtronic, which is a big employer up in this area and really around the world. So it's I'm really happy to be a part of your conversation this morning, Brett.
Yep, I know Medtronic. I've got a good friend there, Tom Olenek, worked in the audio department there in Medtronic for many years. He's retired.
Oh, cool.
So the next question is what? What is it that you do now? I mean, you worked for Medtronic, but what do you do now?
Well, I'm in management consulting, which means that I do a lot of presentations to companies and to schools and coaching individuals about how to apply life skills and how to use resilient strategies such as perseverance, persistence, and patience, my 3 Ps of resilience, to overcome the challenges that we have in life. It's as I mentioned to folks usually that we all have challenges no matter what stage of life, no matter what station of life we're in. It's how we deal with those challenges that really count. And because I've have a physical disability since birth called cerebral palsy, I've had to deal with a lot of issues in my life, and I try to use my experience to help individuals find ways to think better of themselves and to find strategies to overcome those few moments that become a bit of angst for them.
Okay. So when you do this, do you have, the next question is where? So where do you do this? Do you do this online, or do you travel to do seminars and things, or do you have an office that you work out of?
I do it online. I do webinars, but also I do travel and throughout the U.S. But can also, now that with technology, can really go all over the world. And I do provide support for individuals. I have a website called resiliencyfirst.com, which has had more than 5 million people that have visited it through the years to talk about, and I talk about resiliency strategies, and I write articles and do videos and provide other content. So it's fun. I'm not just based here. I'm based in Minnesota, but I can travel wherever a client wants me to travel.
Okay, so when do you do this? Do you have like regular office hours, or do you work 24/7, or do you just do it on call, or when does all this happen?
Well, as a consultant, you sort of work 24/7 anyway. But wherever and whenever a client wants me to talk with them, I do. Whenever they want me to fly out and meet with their corporation, I do. It's really I've had a lot of success in life, and I've had a lot of great people to support me in life, and I want to give something back to this world. And this is you know, sure, I have to make a business out of it, but this is my little way of giving something back to individuals that can help them through challenges, but also help them through good times in life.
Okay, so when you do this, how do you do it? Do you have like a program that they sign up for and they go through a bunch of modules in a workbook, or do you actually do like one-on-one kind of coaching, or how's your process?
Well, I do, you know, I can do one-off presentations to, you know, at a yearly meeting. I've done programs, as you say, with modules, etc. You know, for a number of sessions for companies, and I've also helped individuals individually with personal coaching. It's you know, I'm not a one-all everything, but I really try to hit as many people as I can, to help as many people as possible with the messages that I have. You know, I try to make it very personal, so I show all my bumps and all my warts and stuff, so then they know that I'm a real person, that I've actually used some of these strategies to help me overcome, whether it's personal challenges or whether it's work challenges. Whether it's something that you have to deal with yourself, or that you have to deal with a cube mate right next door. I try to allow them to ask questions and give them advice on how to make the best of their lives. You know.
Okay, that kind of goes right into the final question, and that's the big why question. Is I like to ask people, why do they do what they do? I mean, like, why aren't you like a school teacher or a gas station attendant? Why are you doing what you're doing?
Well, you know, when I was I had worked in, you know, the corporate world for, you know, 30 years, and I thought I was going to be working in the corporate world for the rest of my life. But then a huge layoff happened back in the late 2000s, or late, you know, like 2008, 2009, at a company that I was at. 90% of the employees got laid off, including finally me. And I said I wanted to have a little bit more control over what I did in life, and I figured that possibly, if I did something like this, if I did some consulting, etc., I would have a little bit more control over my world and still provide some value to individuals in what I've learned in life. And I think that's helped me. I never thought that this would be a business. I just thought this would be something that I would do voluntarily online, and until my next great corporate adventure. But you know, I got so many people online that wanted to hear me talk about resilience that I asked people if they wanted me to present, and gosh, companies did, and individuals wanted me to talk with them personally, etc. So it's sort of a cottage industry that's grown into more of an actual business, and that's why that I joined Think to Perform, which is a company that I partner with. That they provide. They're a worldwide company that provide leadership, emotional intelligence, behavioral advice, life skills, and resiliency training to companies, whether they're companies of 5 or companies of 25,000. So it's been a good ride, and if my health continues, I will continue it, and as best as I can. So, you know, please contact me if you want. And Brad, I don't know if I can give you my contact information, but I will.
Absolutely, that's what this is about. You give me that, and you can do it verbally. And I also want to put the links onto the YouTube and the blogs and all that, because that's what this is all about, where people serendipitously find you and go, I think I need to connect with that person. So absolutely, connections are key. That's why we do this.
Well, thanks, Brad. You know, my phone number is 651-341-9826. My email address is sbeseke, it's B like in boy, E-S like in Sam, E-K-E, at think to perform, and the 2 is a letter, is the number 2.com. And my websites are Think to Perform resiliency.com, which again is it's the number 2, and also my personal resiliency website that I have also those people following me, and that I have more than 250 resiliency articles and videos, is resiliencyfirst.com. But please give me a call, and I'm not the only person on my team. There's lots of other folks who can do all sorts of other stuff that I mentioned. So please give me a call, and I can direct you to the right person, or I can direct you to me. Appreciate
it. That's perfect. Well, that pretty much concludes it. Like I said, I don't like to make these things too long and take up too much time of people. They can just get to the point and find out what you're about, and then if they're interested, they can just click links and get right to you. So, Steve, I appreciate you taking the time today to share with your who, what, where, when, how, and when, and why you do this, because it's similar to a lot of people. They had the corporate work and they got let go, or they want to have more control. That happened to me too when I was graduated from school. I had a job and I got laid off, and right away, early on, I said I want to be in control, so I became self-employed. With you, you sort of got pushed out.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, and I want to, I knew that I couldn't control everything. You can't control everything in life, but I can influence things, and if I can, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to influence my career as best as I knew how, and this is the way that to help people overcome challenges and to find strategies to increase their resilience in life is just so important, not just personally but professionally.
Okay, well, that concludes this interview on Synergy Cafe. My name is Magic Brad, and this is Steve Beske in Minneapolis. And like I said, the links and things will be accompanying this video. And Steve, if you want to hang on a little bit, I'm just going to end the broadcast. Thank you very much, Steve, for taking the time, and thank you for watching.
Thank you so much, Brad.